Let's see which chapter. Sarvasachaham Hrideshi Sannivisto Mata Smriti Jnanapahanam Cha. Chapter 15, text number 15. Sarvasya chaham hrideshi sannivisto Mata smriti jnanamapohanam cha. Vedaisya sarvai ahameva vedya Vedanta krit vedavid eva aham eva chaham sarvasya chaham hrideshi sannivishta Mata smriti jnanam apohanam cha. Vedaisya sarvai aham eva vedya Vedanta krit vedavid eva chaham. Please chant. Sarvasya chaham hrideshi sannivishto Mata smritim jnanam apoham cha. Okay. Anybody else? Sarvai aham eva vedya Krit veda veda eva chaham. Translation purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Sir Prabhupada ki. Yeah. I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas, I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta, and I am the knower of the Vedas. Right. Please chant. I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas, I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedas. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta. And I am the knower of the Vedas. The Supreme Lord is situated as Paramatma in everyone's heart, and it is from Him that all activities are initiated. The living entity forgets everything of his past life, but he has to act according to the direction of the Supreme Lord, who is witness to all his work. Therefore, he begins his work according to his past deeds. Required knowledge is supplied to him, and remembrance is given to him, and he forgets also about his past life. Thus, the Lord is not only all-pervading, he is also localized in every individual heart. He awards the different fruitive results. He is worshipable not only as the impersonal Brahman, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the localized Paramatma, but as a form of the incarnation of the Vedas as well. The Vedas give the right direction to people so that they can properly mold their lives and come back to Godhead, back to home. The Vedas offer knowledge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. And Krishna in his incarnation as Vyasadeva is the compiler of the Vedanta Sutra. The commentation on the Vedanta Sutra by Vyasadeva in the Srimad Bhagavatam gives the real understanding of Vedanta Sutra. The Supreme Lord is so full that for the deliverance of the conditioned soul, He is the supplier and digester of foodstuff, the witness of His activity, and the giver of knowledge in the form of the Vedas, and as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, the teacher of the Bhagavad Gita. He is worshipable by the conditioned soul. Thus God is all good, God is all merciful. Yeah. Om Agnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmitan Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mayam Dadati Swapadantikam Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Grutas Chaitavata Swamitilam Hare Krishna. Sarvasya chaham hridaya sannivishto mata smritim jnanam apahanam cha vedasya sarvai aham eva vedya vedanta krit ved eva chaham. Right. So here we see Lord Krishna is mentioning, right, that He is Sarvasya chaham, He is seated in everybody's heart, in each and every living entity He is seated. Right. Apart from Him being seated in everybody's heart, right? He's the source of all knowledge, intelligence, forgetfulness, right? In every living entity, the intelligence comes from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Forgetfulness also comes from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? And then He's saying He's the creator of all the Vedas, Vedanta Sutra, right? Vedanta. And I am the compiler of the Vedas. And through the Vedas, I am to be known. Right. So, this verse I especially took because this is beginning of December. Right. Next week, we are going to celebrate Gita Jayanti. And we'll see in the presentation today how Bhagavad Gita fits well into this Vedic realm, right? The Shrutis, the Smritis, right? So we'll see in the presentation. Okay. Something changed. Oh, something changed. All right. So, how can we understand the Supreme Person who is the creator of infinite gigantic universe? Right. Is that manual there or is not working? Oh, switch on. Oh, let me see. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Switched on. It's on, right? Where? Point to there? Point to there. Okay, all right. Okay. You can just do manually. Okay. All right, okay, very well. Yeah. So how can we understand the Supreme Creator who is the creator of infinite gigantic universe? So there are three forms of gaining any knowledge. All right. So we talked about the Pratyaksha Praman, Anuman Praman, and Sabda Praman. Can you go to the, yeah. The Pratyaksha Praman, Pratyaksha Praman means Praman, the knowledge acquired by direct sense perception. Anuman Praman means Anuman, right? Theories based on evidence. And Sabda Praman means hearing from a bona fide authority. Next. All right, very well. So Pratyaksha Praman, right? Go next. Here, the main emphasis is seeing is believing. If I see something by my direct senses, I believe in it. Otherwise, I don't believe. Right? Like the next slide, yeah. Like the Dr. Frog philosophy. Do you know the Dr. Frog philosophy? It's working? All right. Okay, very well. Thank you. Yeah, very well. Good. So, the Dr. Frog philosophy is there is two frogs. One frog is living in the well, and both meet in the well. And the other frog is saying, oh, do you know how huge the Atlantic Ocean is? So the frog is describing the Atlantic Ocean as, oh, by his direct sense perception. What can his perception say? Oh, this big, this big, this big. Right. So, and he can just describe to his limited sense perception. He cannot describe the vastness of the ocean. Right, because his perception is limited. Similarly, our perception, our senses are limited. We cannot describe completely something which is beyond our sense perception. Right? So we cannot acquire absolute knowledge through our blunt material senses. Atasi Krishna Namadi na bhaved grayam indriyai. Right. By our blunt material senses, we cannot understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. By our blunt material senses, we cannot understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Right. Because why? Because of the four defects. What are the four defects? Our senses are imperfect. We tend to be illusioned. We tend to commit mistakes, and cheating propensity, right? Cheating propensity, imperfect senses, right? Can anybody claim here that the senses are perfect? No, imperfect senses. To be illusioned, tend to be illusioned, right? Tendency to commit mistakes. We all have tendency to commit mistakes, right? Cheating propensity, right? Cheating propensity. Our eyes are blind outside the range of 4,000, what is that? Angstrom to 7,000 angstrom. Our ears are deaf outside the range of 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. Our ears are deaf. We cannot hear below certain sound decibels and beyond certain sound decibels. Right. Imperfect senses. And uninformed scientists may boast, will use the instrument outside the range for perceiving things. Or they may boast that, oh, by giving a post-dated check. We have not created life so far after millions of years of research, but will create life. in our lab after certain years. They may boast, right? But that's not possible for them. They will never be able to create life, right? Because it's not under their scope of capabilities. The Nobel Prize winner, physicist Eugene Wigner, points out, even if you photograph stars, eventually we have to take in by our senses what the photo shows. Furthermore, without our senses, we cannot handle a camera. Even if we refined by instruments, the knowledge is no more perfect than our imperfect senses. This is a Nobel Prize laureate mentioning. The ears cannot distinguish hissing of a cooker and train. Wow. The tongue, further imperfect senses. Eating orange after sugar tastes sour, right? Eating orange after lemon, same taste changes to sweet, right? Tendency to be illusions. Skin, same water touched with warm hand appears cool, and touched with cold hands appears warm. It's the same water, right? Same temperature of the water, right? Tendency to be illusioned. Eyes. Can see some examples of the optical illusion. Ooh, it did not show. So let's see, yeah. In the first optical illusion, we saw a black rectangle with various dots in the center. You have to decide carefully whether these dots are black in color or white. Right. You will notice that the dots where you focus your eyes are black, but in fact, it's all white. Right? So all the lines are parallel, but they appear zigzag. In this illusion, we show you a set of lines which are drawn on alternate black and white squares. You have to decide whether these lines are parallel or not. Are they parallel? Yeah, they are, but they don't look like. All these lines are parallel, although they do not look like. Ooh. You have to decide how many legs this elephant has. Right? He appears multi-legged, though he has 4 legs. Wow. This was at the time of when Bill Clinton was president. So either it's Bill Clinton and Al Gore, or both are Bill Clintons. So this was also an optical illusion about Clinton. Or is it the same Bill? And in fact, it was both Bill Clinton. In the following image, do you see a face or do you see a word? What does it show? It's a liar, right? On one side. Other way you see there's a face there. Yeah. What the circle in the center of both the circles? Are they both of the same size or of different size? Though they are of the same size, it appears that the left side circle is bigger, right? Because it's a circle, bigger circle among the smaller circles. And at the same time, when you put the same circle among bigger circles, it appears small to you. No, they are the same size. Stare the dark dot in the center of the image, and the gray shading around it disappears gradually. Right? Class about optical illusion. All right. These are image of 4 colors. But there are only 3 colors, green, white, and pink. Yeah. So I'm going to skip some of these examples. There are too many examples of this optical illusion. Tendency to commit mistakes, wildly incorrect accounts in science. Just because our data did not fit, we correlate that, okay, no, just draw this straight line with the limited data. And that's what many times scientists do. Stars were considered pinpricks on a crystal globe years back, right? That they are pinpricks in a crystal globe. Electricity and heat were considered fluids. Brain was thought of an organ to cool the blood. Right? These were all different hypotheses of the scientist based on tendency to commit mistakes. Or the cheating propensity. Right? The Piltdown man fraud, that, oh, man came from monkeys just because there was not sufficient data. Right. Anuman Praman. Ooh. Yeah, it's basically Anuman Praman means hypothesis. If there are 6 blind men trying to figure out the shape of an elephant, right? What will happen? You'll get different answer. If somebody is touching the feet, they'll say, oh, this elephant is like a big pillar, right? The shape of the elephant is like a big pillar. If somebody is touching the ears, what would they say? Big fan. The elephant, the shape of the elephant is like a big fan. So Anuman Praman is like that. Knowledge gained by hypothesis and logic. But Sabda Praman is hearing from a bona fide authority. Hearing from a bona fide authority is Sabda Praman. If you have not seen your father, who is your bona fide authority? Your mother. Who is my father? So similarly, in the case of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we ask, if you have not seen the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we ask the mother, the Vedas. Vedanta Krit, Veda, Eva Aham, Eva Chaham. Through the Vedas, I am to be known. Right? We ask, we take shelter of the Vedas. And how does that science flow through? It's a descending process. It flows through a disciplic succession. Evam parampara praptam imam rajasya vidu. Right? Hearing from a bona fide authority. So what is the difference between Anuman Praman and Sabda Praman? Anuman Praman is an ascending process of acquiring knowledge, while Sabda Praman is a descending process of acquiring knowledge. We already discussed this example. These are the rock theory of Anuman Praman, but we'll skip that. Yeah. So Pratyaksha Praman is direct sense perception. Pratyaksha knowledge is relative because of 4 defects in living beings. Anuman Praman is based on past evidence. It is again hypothesis, dependent on sense perception. Sabda Praman is hearing from a bona fide authority. So Pratyaksha and Anuman gives relative knowledge, like the story of 6 blind men, where Sabda Praman gives absolute knowledge and is most reliable and definite way of obtaining knowledge. Right. So what happens to that knowledge? The Supreme Personality of Godhead, as in this verse, he says, he is the creator of the Vedas, Vedanta. And through the Vedas, he has to be known. So the Supreme Lord himself passes this knowledge to Lord Brahma. How does he pass that knowledge? Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaye. He, what is that? He gives that knowledge into Brahma's heart, Lord Brahma's heart. He gives that knowledge. He reveals that knowledge of the Vedic science to Lord Brahma's heart. And then it is passed down through a disciplic succession. Lord Brahma gives that same knowledge to Narad Muni. Narad Muni gives that knowledge to Vyasadeva. Vyasadeva gives that knowledge to Sukadeva Goswami. And same way, then it passes down in disciplic succession. And then there are 4 bona fide sampradayas of Vaishnavism. Brahma Sampradaya, Rudra Sampradaya, Shri Sampradaya, and Kumar Sampradaya. Where Lord Brahma gets a message from the Supreme Personality of Godhead and he passes down. In that Sampradaya, prominent Acharya appears called Madhavacharya. It started being called as Brahma Madhav Sampradaya. In that same disciplic succession, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appears. And it started being called as Brahma Madhav Gaudiya Sampradaya. And we are part of Brahma Madhav Gaudiya Sampradaya. Brahma Madhav Gaudiya ISKCON Sampradaya, right? In that same Sampradaya, Srila Prabhupada is there in the disciplic succession. So message passed down from Lord Krishna all the way to us, right? Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaye. The Vedic knowledge was revealed by the Supreme Person within the heart of the first created being, Brahma. This Vedic wisdom came down in disciplic succession through oral reception, not through sense perception, not through Anuman Praman, but through oral reception, Sabda Praman. Right. And we can see how this knowledge is infallible because it is revealed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. We see how in Srimad Bhagavatam it talks about the symptoms of the people in Kali Yuga. Right. Manda, Sumanda Mataya, right? Manda means lazy, Sumanda Mataya, misguided, Manda Bhagyaha, unlucky, right? He Upaditaha, and above all, disturbed. Right. Does that sound familiar? Of the symptoms of people in Kali Yuga. Those who don't know about this, we are in Kali Yuga. These are symptoms of people, means all of us. Right. Here by nature lazy, misguided, disturbed, unlucky. Right. Unlucky. Manda Bhagyaha, limited perception, limited knowledge. And these symptoms were predicted in Kali Yuga before the Kali Yuga's advent. Kali Yuga's advent was 5,000 years back. Srimad Bhagavatam was compiled millions of years back. It was compiled in written form more than 5,000 years back. Right. Vyasadeva, literary incarnation of God, recorded all the Vedas in writing 5,000 years back for the benefit of the people in Kali Yuga. Right. So that's why we have books where it is all compiled. Before, through oral reception, if somebody is passed on the message, it will record in the mind itself. And the forgetfulness won't occur. Right? But now, because of our nature in Kali Yuga, we easily forget even that which is learnt yesterday. Right? That's why we have to use all these task lists on Outlook. We have to have smartphones for reminders. Oh, I had an appointment. Oh, yeah. Right? A few years back, we didn't have smartphones. Right? Couple of decades back, we didn't even have cell phones. Or not that popular. Right? Now, without GPS or without putting down the address in our Google Maps, we cannot get from one place to another place. Right? So all the symptoms of Kali Yuga. So that's why, for the people in Kali Yuga, Vyasadeva, the compiler of the Vedas, put down in written form all the Vedic literatures 5,000 years back. The Vedas are called as Shrutis, or knowledge received through oral reception. So let's understand these two terms, Shruti and Smriti. Right. The means of Vedic knowledge is to accept an authority and learn the truth by inquiring submissively. Right? That's the means of Vedic knowledge. The Vedas offer insight into who am I, where have I come from, where do I go after death. Right? It gives us this information. Who am I? Right? We are misguided. We think that we are the body. Most of the time we think, wow, the school is over. Haribol. Later on. The Vedas offer insight into what is the purpose of my existence. Right? What is the purpose of my existence? Does somebody want to have a guess? What is the purpose of your existence? What is the purpose of your existence, Devaka Prabhu? Huh? Realize God. That's the purpose of your existence. All right, okay. Anybody else wants to give it a try? What is the purpose of your existence? Ato Brahma Jigyasa. So the purpose of your existence is? The purpose of your existence is Atato Brahma Jigyasa, to inquire about spirit. All right? Anybody else? I didn't get you. What is that? To serve the Lord. Wonderful. To serve the Lord. The purpose of your existence is to serve the Lord. What does Srimad Bhagavatam say about the purpose of your existence? Savai pumsa paro dharmo yeto bhakti adhok saje ahai tuki apratihata yayatma suprasiditi. The ultimate purpose of life. Ultimate purpose of life is Savai pumsa paro dharmo yato bhakti adhok saje. To realize this adhok saja, Supreme Personality of Godhead. and to serve Him uninterrupted. Apratihata, right? Apratihata, uninterrupted. Continuously, without any interruption. So the child answered right, yeah, to love God. That's the ultimate purpose of our existence. Who is God? To inquire. First of all, to inquire, who am I? And then to inquire, where did I come from? Who is God? How am I related to God? Right? Okay, here is me, a tiny, infinitesimal soul, and here is a Supreme Lord, completely spiritual. So how am I related? Purpose of our existence, to know about that, to try to inquire about that. That's the purpose of our existence. There's a big detailed slide about Vedic knowledge, which is divided into two general categories, Smriti and Shruti. Smriti, that which comes to remembrance. Shruti, that which comes to oral reception. So, in the Smriti side, we'll see Srimad Bhagavatam, you'll see the Itihas, Mahabharata and all, right? On the Shruti side, can we increase the, well, I can hardly read from here. Yeah, but those who like to look at that slide more closely, there are the Vedas. We see how Vedas are then, we talk about Vedanta. What is Vedanta? The ultimate conclusion of the Vedas. The Vedas are divided into 4. Which are the 4 Vedas? Yajur Veda, Rig Veda, Sama Veda, and Atharva Veda. And today morning, Srimad Bhagavatam class itself, we were talking about how Mahabharata is also included as a Pancham Veda. As a Pancham Veda. Though it is Itihas, that which is historic, which has happened years back, but it's also Pancham Veda, because it talks about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, so it is also Pancham Veda. So that is Vedanta. Then Sutra means codes. That codes which gives us the ultimate conclusion of the Vedas is called Vedanta Sutra. Vedanta Sutra. And that Srimad Bhagavatam is considered as a complete commentary on Vedanta Sutra. Complete commentary on Vedanta Sutra. There are Puranas. Puranas means that which is written to remembrance. 18 Puranas, right? 6 Puranas in the mode of goodness, 6 Puranas in not they are the Puranas itself in mode of goodness, but for people in mode of goodness, for people in mode of passion, for people in mode of ignorance, that's 6 Puranas. And of that, Srimad Bhagavatam is considered as the topmost Purana. The most ripened fruit of Vedic literature is Srimad Bhagavatam. Most ripened fruit of Vedic literature is Srimad Bhagavatam. So that is Srimad Bhagavatam. While Bhagavad Gita, though it appears in Mahabharata, it is Itihas. So it could be a Smriti. It is a Shruti because it gives us the instruction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, through oral reception. It is acquired through oral reception. Right. That's Bhagavad Gita. So 3 divisions of the Vedas, Karma Kanda, material elevation, Pravritti Marg, or Jnana Kanda, decreasing material involvement through knowledge, Nivritti Marg, or Upasana Kanda, decreasing material involvement through worship of the Supreme. Vedanta tat tatvavida tattvam yat jnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavaneti sabdyate. This from Srimad Bhagavatam. Right? Learned transcendentalists who know the absolute truth call this non-dual substance Brahman, Paramatma or Bhagavan. The Lord is realized in these three phases as Brahman. As form of Brahman, Lord is present everywhere, in each and every atom. Then Paramatma is situated in each and everybody's heart. And Bhagavan. Just like the sun rays, the localized sun, and beyond that, the sun god, the controller of the localized sun globe. Right. Similarly, Bhagavan is realized in these three phases. Right. And Bhagavad Gita gives us this verse, see, Sarvasya Chaham Hridaya Sannivisto. I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of the Vedanta, and I am the knower of the Vedas. Shri Radha Shyam Sundar Ji ki jai. Radha Shyam Sundar Ji ki jai. Yeah, I know. So, are there any questions? So, just wanted to give you some preliminary introduction of Bhagavad Gita so that we can dive deeper into Bhagavad Gita in coming weeks. Next week on Saturday, it's Gita Jayanti, Mokshada Ekadasi, fasting minimally from grains and beans and increasing our Krishna consciousness. We'll have a full Bhagavad Gita recitation with Yajna starting at 4 p.m. Right? And followed by realization on Bhagavad Gita by different individuals. Can they wait outside for some time? Yeah. Yeah. So the different realization has each and every individual can speak, can memorize one verse, not be manda, lazy, or forgetful, right? But at least memorize one verse from now to next Saturday. From any chapter, any verse, you can decide which verse you are planning to memorize today and give your names. And we'll note it down. And then next Saturday after the Gita Jayanti, after we'll recite 700 verses together, you can recite that verse by heart. And speak on that verse for a couple of minutes on your realization, what that verse means to you. Right? So special. Bhagavad Gita is very special. It's more than millions of books of Bhagavad Gita is distributed all around the world. Very fortunate that Srila Prabhupada presented Bhagavad Gita as it is. He presented Bhagavad Gita as it is, without any adulteration, without any addition of his own perception. Right? If Krishna meant manmana bhava mad bhakta, madhyaji mam namaskuru, Srila Prabhupada will translate as, right, worship Krishna, the Lord within elements. Manmana bhava mad bhakta, madhyaji mam namaskuru, worship him. Not when Krishna says worship him, the translator does not put, oh, worship that which is within him. No. Shri Radha Shyam Sundar Ji ki jai, Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Mai ki jai, Shri Gaur Nitai ki jai. Right? So, he does not translate that, oh, worship that which is within him. Because there is no difference in the Supreme Lord within and without. Right? His external feature and internal feature, there is no difference. He is not seated within his own, means he is seated in each and everybody's heart. Right. But you cannot have that all, the Lord's heart is different than the Lord himself. No. It's completely spiritual. It's completely spiritual. Right? It's completely spiritual. So that's next Saturday. And Sunday we'll have at different levels quiz competition on Bhagavad Gita. So on Saturday also we'll have various sponsorship of the Bhagavad Gita. You can sponsor a box of Bhagavad Gita for your distribution, or boxes of Bhagavad Gita for your distribution. Or we can, on your behalf, put those Bhagavad Gitas in libraries. Many of our devotees have gone to libraries and put Bhagavad Gita. I just received one article where there was a Srimad Bhagavatam put in the library of the Congress, the House of Congress in Washington. Right? That's because Srila Prabhupada, by his causeless mercy, gave all this Vedic literature available to us, made all this Vedic literature available to us. Right? So it's very important that you take that seriously. Okay. Any questions? Any more? Oh. So I've been told that the Sunday school is going to do a small, short presentation on Srila Prabhupada. Now they can come. For a few minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. So let's first of all welcome them with a loud Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. So I'll give the mic to Sevanishta Prabhu, the teacher.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. I apologize for taking just 5-10 minutes more of the class, but as most, and I hope everybody knows that we are conducting a Sunday school on the other side for different age groups. One of the age groups is from 4th grade to 7th grade. That's the class that